In Photoshop, you can create all kinds of square or grid designs very quickly using a new feature of Photoshop 2024. It's a gradient stripes feature, and I'm just going to show you how. This is for PC or Mac. Now, this doesn't work for earlier versions of Photoshop, so if you're using 2023, 2022, etc., it's not in there. You can create something like that very quickly. So how to do this? Let's just remove that layer. Then go to Layer and New and Layer. So you've got a layer to start with, click OK. And I'm going to fill that layer with a gradient. So go over here to the gradient tool. So here's the gradient tool, G. So you can press G. I'm going with classic gradient. And then click on here and select one of the color harmonies. So I'm just going to color harmonies there. You could use, of course, something else, but something with lots and lots of different colors. Then go for linear and blend mode of difference, because then you can combine them, create multiple colors very quickly. And go down here to method. And this is the key thing, stripes. None of the others, but stripes. If you go with stripes, you'll get this lovely grid feature. So let's just apply it. And you can see if I apply it, hold down the shift, it creates this sort of lines, lots of stripes. But you can also add transparency into it as well. So click here, and that just this is the key thing, click in here, brings up the gradient editor. So gradient editor, just a single click, and here you can now see you've got this opacity along here at the top. You also got all the colours, so you've got the blues, etc., all along here. So I'm just going to click this one. So click there. Then I want this here, opacity stop, it's going to be 100%. And you can click here, and that one's going to be 100% as well. Click here, and this one I'm going to change to 0. So that one's 0, and it's just above. Now you probably, unless you get exactly right, I think, you'll get slight lines in this a bit, because obviously some of the colour's still there. Well, I've got this, I can select that, and then I can click here, and that will add another 0% one. And also I want to get rid of that one, so just remove that. You just delete any of the ones, you can just delete it, and you can click this one again, and then just click there again. There, so you've got now black, white, obviously 0, 100, etc. So that's 100, 0, 100, and so on. You can, of course, create all kinds of combinations of these, as well as colours as well, to create your thing. And also, if you wish, obviously you might want to save it. You can always click New, so it's just stored away here, and you can see you've got your gradient there. But now, click OK. It's got all these settings again, difference and stripes, as well as classic gradient. I can now apply it to this layer. So simply hold down the shift and drag, and it will create these lines. Now you can see I've made a slight mistake. You've got a little bit of red coming through, also a bit of blue maybe there as well. Doesn't particularly matter, hardly noticeable once you've got your design applied. And you can apply it a number of ways. So you can apply it maybe from here, just click and maybe create something like that and then release. Or you can go from one side all the way over to the other side and release. And you can see your design there. Now it's not particularly that interesting. It's just a single blue, obviously pink and yellow. But you can go over to the Move tool, and then you can hold down the Shift. So hold down the Shift key on the keyboard and resize that. You can just drag that towards there to create obviously a much thinner set of lines. Maybe drag that like that. But also what you can do, let's just undo that, you can also combine it again and again. And that was the key thing for the difference. So gradient tool, difference there, I can apply it again. So you can see you can get that. And you can apply it again. Now this white area here, that's the transparency. So you can actually see through to the layer here. If you had an image or something there, you would see the image through that. It's a great way of creating some very interesting grid designs with images as well. And you can apply it again, maybe click there and release, click there and release, maybe click that way and release. Now you might not want to push it too far because you want to still see some of this white here, the transparency. So I've got some gaps. Then again, Move tool. Now hold down the Shift again and just drag. And I can move that around, reposition it, and press return. So press return on the keyboard, and I've got this design. Now at the moment, it doesn't look particularly much. You've got transparency. So if I go over here to layers, with that layer selected, that's the key thing, what you can do is go to effects. So click effects, drop shadow. So click drop shadow, and then you can obviously set it in numerous ways. You can maybe add some obviously bevels, contours, etc. But you also go down here, drop shadow, and go for like 39, 28, 35, and also 83 for the opacity. And you can see now you've got this shadow, and click OK. Of course, you could just go with that single layer. You don't have to, of course, create multiple layers. But I think it makes it more interesting if you duplicate that layer and then create obviously different ones, maybe place them along, maybe aligned all the way vertically or obviously horizontally. But you can also, of course, create them diagonally or different angles. You can also recolor them, maybe using adjustments, using the image menu and adjustments. So let's just go and do that. To duplicate it, hold down the Alt or Option key on the keyboard, and then you've got a duplicate of that layer there. So you've got now two layers, obviously slightly shifted along. Now you could, of course, tweak the drop shadow. That's now independent, obviously, of this one. Doesn't have to be the same. And again, you can do another one, hold down the Alt or Option key, and you could put it on top, sort of like cover parts of it. Doesn't have to be all the way over, but you can do it there. Also, maybe you can see there. Now, if you can't see this bounding box, key thing is go up here, the settings, show transform controls. That should be on. That should be default, should be on. So, but if it's not, that's where you can set that. And then you can rotate this. Also, again, hold down the shift, and then you can resize this and just drag this out so it gets further, stretch it quite a way there. Let's just move that away, and again, move that one away, and you can stretch it that way. Press return again. Hold down the Alt or Option key and just duplicate that design. And you can see you can build up all kinds of complex sort of shapes and designs using this approach. Also, you might decide, well, I want a bit more colour maybe. Well, what you can do if you want, maybe go over here, you've got this one selected. You can go up here, you've got blend mode, so you can just go up here, down, darken, and you can maybe go with difference. It doesn't always look good, so let's just go with normal as before. But you can also recolor it, go for image, adjustments, and down maybe to hue and saturation, or one of the others, maybe just invert it. Again, not particularly great, so I'm going to put it back again. But image, adjustments, and hue and saturation, maybe change the hue, and you can see then you get different colours, blues instead of those pinks, and click OK. And again, continue to duplicate this design. Hold down the Alt or Option key and duplicate that, and so on. And you can build up all kinds of layers. Once you're happy with that, you can, of course, merge them all. So select them all. So all are selected. Then go to Layer, and then you can go down here to Merge Layers. So merge layers, all merged into a single layer. And then you can manipulate it even more. Hope you found this tutorial of interest. Any questions, please let me know in the comments below. Always great to hear from you. A like or dislike, always appreciated. Also, please subscribe to the channel. Always adding new videos all the time about Photoshop, Affinity Photo, and many, many other applications. Bye.